each other through it. Come on and see, good movement draws good movement.
Welcome to Good Movement Draws Good Movement, the podcast where farmers, ranchers, and rural folks can grow relationally through awareness, understanding, and effective communication. Hey, it's T. I'm your host, and I, along with my guests, will be covering topics related to drawing good movement. Things like self and social awareness, brain science, positive psychology, extending grace, and so much more. We'll share tools that can help you understand why you are the way you are, why others are the way they are, and how you can use that to step out of self-told lies with grace and compassion to draw good movement in conversations, relationships, and life in rural America. Let's go draw good movement. Welcome back to the Good Movement Draws Good Movement podcast. A few years ago, I wrote something in the notes of my phone. I think I might have even shared it on social media. I'm pretty sure I did. And the topic, the idea has come up in conversation quite a bit recently. And so I'm going to read you what I wrote, and then I'm going to elaborate a little more on it. Perspectives. They're a lot like fingerprints. We've all got them, and no two are exactly alike. But unlike fingerprints, our perspectives are shaped and molded from our unique wiring and personal experiences as we grow. We all see life from the only perspective we have, our own. While there's no way for us to know all the experiences and events that have shaped someone else's perspective, there are lots of ways we can work to understand perspectives other than our own. So remember that next time you see something that sounds absolutely ridiculous to you, and proceed with kindness, my friend. That is what I wrote, and I'm certain that I shared it on social media, but I have no idea how far back in the feed the post is. But this idea of perspectives and differing perspectives has come up a lot recently, and especially the idea that we see things from our own perspective and how we take in information is shaped by said perspective, and other people see things vastly different than we do. One of the conversations I was a part of, it was somebody who works for a company, and the way that the company is organized, there's different departments, and the department that this person is in reports to another department, and that department is making some new rules and restructuring things a little bit, and it's making the job of the person that I was visiting with a little more complicated. And they were having a really hard time with the changes, understandably so. It's making their day-to-day job more complicated, more difficult, not as efficient in their perspective, and frankly, mine, knowing the story. But we were visiting, and I had brought up, like, the thing is the people that are making the rules in that department, they don't know your day to day, and you don't know their day to day. And so wouldn't it be cool if you could go see what they do and they could come see what you do? And then maybe there wouldn't necessarily be agreement about the restructuring and changes that are happening, but at least there would be some understanding. And the person I was visiting with was like, I don't know. And I'm like, but isn't that the way of kind of our society and culture too? Is that we like to complain about this person or this group or that group, when in reality, we don't know what they've got going on, and they don't know what we've got going on. We see things from our perspective, and we don't always like to take into account that there are as many perspectives as there are humans in this world. And every perspective, every human is different. On that same day that we were having that conversation, later on, I was visiting with some neighbors and friends about the fire and how things are recovering. And we were talking about how there's some green, I call it 5 o'clock shadow, coming up on the burned hills and stuff. And one of our dear friends and neighbors said, yeah, I mean, like, It looks pretty green from afar, but when you get out in it, it doesn't look good. And I was like, that that analogy or that visual, that picture, having just had that other conversation was like, yeah, we see things from afar and it looks like these hills, like bright and shiny and green and like, oh, it's so good. It's coming back or. But then when we get out in there, it's actually a lot different than what it looks like from far away. And the same is true for our fellow humans. When we see things from a distance, it can look a lot different than if we actually get close to somebody and get to know them. And this can go a couple of different ways. We might think they know their story and we judge them or criticize or whatever it is. We see what we see and then we fill in the blanks and here's this story, but we don't actually know. And then when we get closer to that person, we realize, whoa, I was way wrong. And then there's also the thing that happens a lot, I think, too, is where we see people that we know, see people that we love. This doesn't necessarily happen with maybe strangers, or maybe it does. Maybe it does. But we think like the hills, like in the morning light when there's kind of a little bit of moisture in the air, not a lot because we haven't had a lot of moisture at all in the air or otherwise. But when it's a cool morning and it's a little bit damp, those hills look so vibrantly green that you can almost forget for a second that they burned. And you just think it's late spring, early summer. And that's kind of how we see people in our lives. We look at them and we think they're doing so well. Everything's good. They're cruising along through life. No troubles, no bubbles. But what we don't always remember is that they may not be doing that well. Like those vibrant green hills in the cool mornings from afar, they look really good. And when you get out in them, the grass ain't that tall. It's not that dense. And having just been out in it the other day, it still smells like smoke and burn and ash. And sometimes we see that vibrant, beautiful picture in other people and we think that they're doing so good that we forget to get close. And when we do that, we can sometimes miss that it's actually a lot different than what it looks like from afar. And they might need some help. So, the moral of this story is that when we look at people, when we look at other humans, it's good to keep in mind that the way we see them is shaped by our very own perspective, which is shaped by our experiences and upbringing in life and all the things, and that they have their own perspective. And it's important for us, if we want to grow understanding and compassion and kindness in this world, which I hope we all do, that we get closer to them, to either understand their perspective or to just do a wellness check. Like, how you doing? The way that we can get closer is by actual physical proximity, like haven't seen somebody in a while, go hang out with them. Ask them some questions. You guys know that I love honest questions. And the honest questions are such a useful tool when it comes to understanding other perspectives other than your own. And they're such a useful tool for getting to know other people, or, like the example that I used with, your friends and family. It might look like they're doing well on the outside or from far away, but when you get close, you realize, they're hanging on by a thread. Honest questions can be a very useful tool there as well. I am going to link the free PDF that I have. All you got to do is put your email in and it'll come to you, but it is a PDF with honest questions and what they are and some examples of how to use them. So we're going to link that in the show notes for you. But I want to leave you again with this. While there is no way for us to know all the experiences and events that have shaped someone else's perspective, there are lots of ways we can work to understand perspectives other than our own. So remember that the next time you see something absolutely ridiculous to you, and proceed with kindness, maybe some honest questions. And with that, until next time, draw good movement. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm so grateful for you. If you found value in this episode, I'd love for you to share with others who might also benefit from tuning in. Share by word of mouth, send it in a text, take a screenshot and post it on social media, or share however you prefer. And if you haven't already, hit the follow or subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Until next time, draw good movement.